I think it's all happened sa practice. So sa practice namin talagang nag-double effort kami as a team. Yung lapses namin last game, kulang kami sa effort and aggressiveness as a team. So yun yung wina-workout namin sa practice coming to this game. And so far so good naman yung result.
And almost a triple-double night for you with 8 assists. How much do you pride yourself with not just being able to score for Ginebra, but also orchestrate the offense to have the team work together?
Yun nga, coming to this game, kailangan lang namin maging aggressive. So, hindi naman about numbers. So, I just want to be aggressive, preparing for the playoffs.
Coach Tim, in the second quarter, it was really the threes that helped you get that run. 4 out of 7. In the third quarter, 22 points from inside the paint. What do you think that says about the versatility that Ginebra showed tonight?
Well, you know, we were a little bit bigger than them, and we tried to talk about before the game going in to out. In other words, we try to get the ball inside before we take the outside shot. You know, it's just, you know, we're still kind of trying to pull our teeth out, trying to get the effort that we need. You know, you know, it's after you come off a championship, there's always this ebbs and flows on your team, and you got to kind of handle that. And sometimes you need a little kick in the rear end to get yourself going. I think the last 2 games gave us that kick in the rear, and understood that if we want to try to compete again for a championship, we're going to have to play with a lot more fire and vigor and energy, and that should translate into our effort. And you know, there were times when our effort wasn't there today, but we picked it up, and we had a really great third quarter. I thought our effort kind of fell again in the fourth quarter, but that's the way the game is played nowadays. There's always big swings. You know, you hit a few 3-point shots, you get ahead. They hit a few 3-point shots. Bullock came out and hit, what, 3 or 4 3-point shots in the fourth quarter, and they make a run back. So you just got to kind of sustain yourself through the runs, and that's what we did tonight.
Coach, Ginebra has always prided itself with defense. You've talked about it numerous times. In the 6 games that you guys won, I think you were limiting your opponent to just 80 points.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 games that you guys lost, they reached an average of 98 points. Northport ended with 93 right now, but you still got the win. What was the biggest difference tonight?
Well, the difference was the pace tonight. You know, the pace was really fast, and we played small lineup to match up to their small lineup. And Northport's pace is the fastest in the league because they don't really have a power guy or power forward or a big man center. They're playing basically small forwards at those positions. Malonzo, of course, Arwin Santos, and Kevin Ferrer. So those guys get up and down the floor, and they get up and down, and they take quick shots. So it's hard to settle your defense, and so you're really caught up into a running game. So that means more possessions, that means more shots, that means more points. Actually, I thought we did a good job holding them 93. When they're really on, it's easy for them to score 100 plus, 110 or whatever. So, and they came out really firing the 3-point shot in the first quarter, and we hung tough and stayed in the game. So, and that gave us a chance to do our own run. So I still think that we played good defense tonight. They hit some really good shots. We made a couple of mistakes defensively in the fourth quarter. We didn't get back as well, but overall, you know, I rate us like a B+ or an A- defensively.
All right. At this point, we open the floor to our friends from the press.
Coach, did you have to cut short your trip when the losses start piling up?
No, that wasn't the reason. No, not at all. The reason was this was the plan, that I would miss 4 games and come back for the Northport game. I almost didn't make it back. My connection on my flight, I almost missed it. It was a nice Filipina lady at the security level, got the PAL desk open so I could get my boarding pass. If she wasn't there, I wouldn't have made it here on time. I would have missed that flight. And all those flights are really booked. Everybody's flying these days. So I was really lucky to get on the flight and get here on time. But that was really the schedule. I knew I was going to miss the last 2 games of the summer league, and I already told Coach Spo that I would have to leave on the 14th. And that was the plan. Had nothing to do with the wins or the losses.
Were you concerned with the 2 losses in
No, I wasn't. And in fact, like I just said earlier, sometimes you need that little kick in the rear end, you know, and that's kind of like what we got. And I think that'll help us in the long term getting into the playoffs. It would have been nice to be able to fight for that top two. I mean, but that's never our real big goal. Our goal is just about the process and preparation and getting to the highest seed we can, if we can. But we don't want to obviously finish 7th and 8th and have a twice disadvantage. But best of 3 is good for us. We feel comfortable with that. And so that's really our target. Anything else beyond that is a bonus for us. So I think it was more valuable to get that kick than it was to win those games at this point.
Coach, one more game to wrap up this elimination. Please, sorry.
Can he go?
Yes.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Get out
Yeah.
of here.
Thank you.
Get
Thank you.
showered.
Tugan ako.
Oh, basketball.
Hey, coach.
Thank you.
Coach, 7 wins with 1 more to go left in your elimination round. How are you liking your chance against Phoenix?
Well, Phoenix. Well, I think, did today clinch us the top 6? I think it did. So we want to, the Phoenix game will be a game we use to get ready for the playoffs. And that anytime we want to get ready for the playoffs, we want to play at a high level. And there are certain things we're going to work on, but we want to do them on a very high level. We won't be concerned so much about the score as the quality of the game we're going to be playing. And we're going to try to get certain players ready. JD, more ready because he's been hurt, and we want to get him ready for the playoffs. Stanley, get some more stuff. Where we threw some stuff at him today that try to get him going a little bit. We saw some glimpses of that. Hopefully we can continue that more and get him ready for the playoffs. I don't know if did anybody know that Japeth is playing with dengue? Oh, you didn't know that. You knew that. Japeth's been playing with dengue. That's why we only limit him to 3 to 4 minutes per outing today, because his platelets are low. They're okay, but right at the border. And so we've been giving him IV this morning, and then before the game, and then halftime, trying to keep his platelets up. So he's been battling dengue. So for the last, he didn't know it. He's had it for over a week already. He had it even in the last 2 games. So he was really feeling really easily fatigued, and we didn't know what it was. Finally had his blood tested and found out he has dengue fever. So hopefully that will carry over. Maybe we'll be able to rest him in the Phoenix game, and so he can get ready for the playoffs. But we'll see how he feels by that time. So all these things kind of go into our minds going into that Phoenix game. Nice question.
How about RB for the team, coach?
Arvin, I don't know. We don't have he had an MRI done. He's going to meet with Doc Cunless tomorrow. It's either he's going to go under the knife or he's going to have rehab. We don't know which one is at this point. So we have no timetable for him at all. We have no idea. He could miss the whole playoffs. He could be out for a long period of time, or he could come back fairly quickly sometime in the playoffs. But we don't know. We have absolutely no clue yet. Hopefully we'll have more clarity tomorrow when we see Doc Cunless.
It's the shoulder?
It's the left shoulder, I believe. It's the left shoulder, not the right shoulder. It's not the shooting shoulder. But still, you got to pick up your left arm to do it, to shoot. So, and it's slightly separated, and he has a little bit of a tear. So, any kind of hit, it would throw his elbow out of his socket again. So we've got to be careful. Shoulders have wrecked careers in the past. So we want to make sure Arvin's a big golden nugget for us. So we don't want to squander that golden nugget. We want to make sure he gets right before we put him back on the lineup.
Coach, can you share about your experience with the Miami Summer League?
Yeah, you got about 5 hours. I mean, that'll help me. That'll give me enough time to explain this whole thing. How can I say it in a short manner? That hasn't been said, basically. But to me, it was just, first of all, it was an incredible experience being around a staff like that. daily and watch their progress and their process, how they get a team ready, how they incorporate their defense, how they incorporate their offense. And then watching the progression of games. I mean, it was just really fascinating for me to see it and be a part of it. They welcomed me like family. It was really amazing. I wanted to do and I wanted to observe and see and to observe everything that I could possibly do, but I also didn't want to be intrusive, you know, and get in the way. So it was always a delicate balance trying to do that. Because I really didn't know what they coached. You know, I don't know their system. I'm not that close. I didn't even know their terminology. We have very different terminologies. We have kick out pass, they have spray, you know, just simple things like that. They were talking about sprays. And I was like, what, is everybody spitting? You know, I didn't know what a spray was for like 2 or 3 days, and I finally figured out, oh, it's a kick out pass. And things like that. So, you know, it was really fascinating. And then the daily interaction, especially, I didn't get to see him in San Francisco, but he came in Las Vegas. And I had daily interaction with Coach Spo himself for a couple hours a day on walks. And we would walk, and we have a whole crew that would walk. So I walk with him and walk with his assistant and, you know, walk with his player personnel and walk with his, you know, GM. So, you know, you get a lot of interaction and you learn a lot as you're doing those walks. And that's a daily Spo thing. He does long walks in the morning. He does it on game days. He does it literally every day. And then from there he goes to the gym and works out. So he's in great shape. So those specific things were the things that really, I mean, there's so much other stuff that we could talk about, but those were the things that were special that I was a part of there, and that made that trip special. My only thing now, and I've been wrestling with this, is, you know, how much do I bring to the team that's new, and then how fast do I bring it in? If I bring it in right away, will it disrupt us before we go into the playoffs? Do I wait till afterwards? You know, these are the things I'm wrestling with right now, because I have been exposed to so many new things, and I certainly like to try some of them out. But there are things also that we do that they don't do, honestly, and don't tell them this. But there are a lot of things that we do that they don't do that I think that we do better. But a little bit. You know, they do like this and we do like this. But I mean, there are some things that I thought if they adopted from us, then they would enjoy that, make them better. But of course, I couldn't say anything because I'm just an assistant coach and sitting in the back line. So I had to hold my tongue a lot during that thing. You know, as a head coach, I wanted to say this and that and this, and I really had to hold my tongue. But it was a tremendously, I just indescribable how great it was. I don't have words for it.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
And welcome back.
Yeah, needed that one tonight.